Archers, attack! Keep firing! Let none escape! Another down! Do not relent!
Straight out of the Scarlet Halls and right into Animal Crossing New Horizons, I'm Slidewhistle.
I am Immunization.
Oh, I'm so sorry. It's been a little bit since I've had to use my common. Was using my BBBs for a second there. I'm Aaron, Fire Mage Extraordinaire, and Horde Punching Bag.
I like to apologize if anybody out there is not a fan of Animal Crossing, because it's going to seep its way into this podcast for the remainder of the year. I don't know how to not talk about it, and I don't know how to stop playing it.
Like the visions of N'Zoth themselves, it has slowly wormed its way into our mind. I blink and I'm back on the island.
You know, and I feel like the only way we address this is we are now officially an Animal Crossing podcast.
Which is wild that we haven't really talked about it that much before this game, because I've been fucking smashed on that GameCube version for years now.
Well, I mean, it's been, 8 years since the last real game?
Like 12.
Don't say that too loud. Cubby Bub will come at you with her happy home designer.
That's not a real game, and she knows it.
Although it did provide a lot of the nice new aspects to this game, I believe. So.
Oh my god, the ability to move things is so much better.
The
ability to place things sucks.
HHD walked so that New Horizons may run.
So Aaron, we haven't actually talked to Aaron about Animal Crossing and his review on it. Aaron, I just want to hear your review on it, because I know you're a bit of an Animal Crossing naysayer at the start, but now it seems like you're playing it a lot. What are your thoughts?
I really enjoy it. The negative aspects of Animal Crossing that I previously held are still held. It is a lot of times you just need to accumulate money, and not all the time is that fun. Sometimes it's like, I just like picking weed, or like, I just need to fish. I need to catch bugs. And I'm used to that because I'm used to dailies and repetitive action. But I told my brother that, and he was like, oh, this used to be more fun when I was a kid.
Wow, Adam. Hot take from Adam.
Ooh. But the biggest drawback is a thing that we've exchanged words about, and it's that previously towns were just sort of set up while you were there, and now that it's an island, people will come in every so often and like, I'll set up my business. And I think that happens far too slow.
Yeah, it's definitely a slower progression, but I kind of dig that. I mean, it kind of is true to what it would be like if you were literally starting on a deserted island, so I think it's kind of cool. And yeah, it's longer, but it kind of makes it feel more worth it when you have to like wait and spread it out, and then I feel like I won't get tired of the game as fast either.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like the problem WoW has a little bit, where they it's at the perfect balance where kind of WoW makes things spread out for too long. I think Animal Crossing hit just the right of time on this one, where it's just like a week is hard in the beginning, but once it gets rolling, oh man, this shit's gonna hit the fan soon at my island, and I'm so excited.
That's what I was telling Cubby Bub too, is that we're all in this first week, so there's like, oh, like the cheaters who are skipping through time, or like the people who are taking it one day at a time. Next week, pretty much everything's going to come in on people's islands, and so their experience will be virtually the same.
Yeah, once everything has their stuff, then like it'll all be on the same level. But that's why it's so amplified early on, because everyone's like, whoa, I have to wait 3 days still. What? I want that. I want that now.
Yeah, I mean, the war between the regular players and the time travelers has always been a thing in Animal Crossing, so...
It sounds like such a post-apocalyptic movie. Like, the time travelers are coming to get our bells.
Well, are they the ones who keep attaching them to balloons? Because I don't know who's doing that, but I'm like, thanks, gang.
Yeah, thanks, bro. Okay, I think we talked about Animal Crossing enough for this part. We can talk about WoW now, which I'm going to admit, obviously... I played a lot of Animal Crossing, did not dip my toes into a lot of WoW this week, but I think that's going to be a thing that's changing because I've heard about some things that were added recently, and these sound like some good-ass changes.
In
particular, one that I feel like, at least for me, is very helpful. There was a big change where Blizzard just decided to change how acquiring the essences account-wide is working.
What that change was made like today, right?
I think it was made pretty recently. Let me check really quick. It was 4 days ago. So 4 days ago, they removed the restrictions for role-specific Azurite essences. So poor Immune over here, on his Holy Priest, would have to buy a separate whole thing for his Shadow Priest spec. But now, once you have that thing in the tree, so like in Agitar, like you have your healing. What is that, like your little like Well of Eternity or whatever?
You know, I don't exactly remember which one came from where, but I'll just say yes, because I actually do think that's right.
That's fair. But so now you have all those in that tree that are available for you to get. Because before it made it so you would have to have a DPS spec that already had that essence, and then you can get that essence, I'm pretty sure. Now you can just go in and get it all willy-nilly. And they're all connected. Once you get that one, you have the other two that are like surrounding it for tanking or DPS or healing. For me and Aaron, it's not really a problem because we're just kind of doing DPS.
It's funny how all of these changes, I've experienced exactly 0 of them because I'm DPS only and pretty faithfully on one character.
Yeah, so this change makes it so that like the corresponding ones are unlocked, right?
Right. If you get like the Condensed Life Force's DPS, then you get Resonating Elemental Heart for, it says tank. Thing is, I don't really know, like, that's the problem. Like, I know, like, what mine are, but I don't know what the fuck Churning Blood of the Conquered is. Like, what is that? Is it a tank? Is that a tank one?
It's rough is what it sounds like.
Oh, I see. I guess I never really realized that the essences are different than what the power is called.
I have noticed that, and it's always pissed me off because, like, when I've been trying to find guides about which ones are best for different types of content, sometimes they call it by the essence name, and sometimes they call it by the trait name, and it's really confusing.
Yeah, because just now, I literally just said, I don't know what Churning Blood of the Conquered is, but that's what gives you Blood of the Enemy, which is what I use in Mythic Plus. They should just call them the same thing. I get for flavor, like, you have the Azurite-fueled Time Quartz, and the Azurite-fueled Time Quartz gives you the Artifice of Time. But at the end of the day, they're just fucking words that mean nothing to me. They're just my button that I press.
This is me writing my personal email to Blizzard. Okay, I know you guys are a bunch of nerds, but slow it down. I'm getting confused.
I'm also happy to report that I fucking got Essences of N'Zoth from my Mythic chest this week because I didn't get any last week because they didn't tell me to log into my fucking main. It's such an interesting 180 that they've done. They're like, you're never going to get your fucking Azurites on all your characters. And now it's like, guys, please keep playing the game under quarantine. We know that you guys are there.
Now, do you think, I was going to ask about that. It seems like there's been a very rapid change as far as like how essences on alts work and things like that. Do you think that's in response to people having more time? So it's like, oh, we got to fast track these things we were going to do in a month to right now.
It seems like somewhere in Blizzard and their WoW team, they decide now is a time that we are going to be as alt-friendly as possible because all of these changes are being accompanied by, I don't know if you guys saw, but they're doing the whole like extra rep, level up your alts really fast stuff.
The COVID buff.
COVID-19 buff.
Well, in real life, when you catch the disease, you feel 100% worse. Now you'll feel 100% better. In the world of Azeroth, please come back.
Play our game.
Please, there's only 2 MMOs on the market, and one features Manchi-Chis. And that's not us.
Okay. Why have Manchi-Chis made a comeback into
the public consciousness?
Yes, because I was on Netflix the other day, and I saw there was a Manchi-Chi TV show, and I'm like, Manchi-Chis were these little fuzzy bastards from like the 80s, the 70s? I'm like, why are they back? What is this? Is there really an MMO Manchi-Chi?
I think he was just talking about Final Fantasy.
Yeah, in Final Fantasy 15.
Oh my god, I thought there was an actual MMO.
Whoa, you know what?
MMO.
We need to do that. That's going to be the first. Now that we've gotten some clout, we can start up our game production facility, and we're going to create the first Manchi-Chi MMO.
Manchi-Chi, MMORPG.
Oh shit, we can do this, guys. We have the theme song for the splash screen ready to go.
See, this quarantine has brought us together. That's when the ideas are really flowing.
Man, that's great.
You have to get to level 43 to unlock the mouth that lets you suck your thumb.
Oh god, they just like stuck it in there with like the hard plastic. Why did they make those for children? Who wanted those?
Why did they make those at all, really?
While we're here talking about shitty 80s toys, I just want to say Garbage Pail Kids can go huff my duff. Those were gross. I refuse to believe Gen Xers were out there like, yeah, this is the pits.
My dad loves Garbage Pail Kids. He has 2 Garbage Pail t-shirts. He got me a Garbage Pail blanket for Christmas this Christmas. I'm not even kidding.
It's on our couch right now.
The Gen Xers love it. If you're a Gen Xer and you can explain why, please send us an email on why Garbage Pail Kids were so big.
I saw one that was like Guts Cassidy, and I swear this man was just like eviscerated holding his organs in his hand. I was like, oh, that's frightening. Why, children of the 80s? Why?
So Raid this week's going to be very interesting because we had some slight guild drama happening where it was just miscommunication issues or whatever. We had an officer, but I guess a former officer at this point, because there's been a shakeup a little bit.
Oh.
There was an officer who was trying to set up a N'Zoth kill because on Raid on Wednesday, we failed to kill N'Zoth. As expected, like, we don't kill bosses very fast. We're pretty slow. And for some reason, an officer was like, oh yeah, let's have like a small 2-3-9 run where, 2 tanks, 3 healers, 9 DPS, and we'll kill N'Zoth tomorrow. And I saw that and I was like, that seems a little weird. We're not going to bring everybody. We're just going to do like a small bit. So I asked that, but then I logged off because I was in Animal Crossing waiting time. And I just didn't play WoW for a little bit. And I got tagged at like 3 a.m. on Discord. And there was just a lot of fighting over something that happened in regards to this whole 239 team being formed to kill N'Zoth.
So you got tagged because you're one of the officers. This happened exclusively in the guild's officer chat, correct?
Yeah, it was just like officers trying to figure out what the hell was going on, what this raid was. And I didn't know it was even a raid. Like, I didn't know what was happening. I was living on my island. So that got resolved or whatever. Come Monday, I get tagged again in Discord. And me and Immune are playing Animal Crossing. This was literally like 2 days ago. No, this is yesterday. What day is it, guys? Is it Tuesday?
The magic of quarantine.
Yeah, every day feels the same. I'm very confused about what day and time it is. I'm also varying levels of drunk throughout the entire thing.
I haven't had to work in like 7 days, so I've just been doing nothing. But anyway, so yesterday I get tagged by like 4 different people, and I'm getting messages, like private messages, like, where are you? Where the fuck are you? Lynn says, Slide, where are you, motherfucker? All caps. I'm like, what the fuck? Excuse me? And it turns out this raid that I had kind of heard about was planned for Monday. And apparently me and Immune were in this raid group. I'm sitting here eating spaghetti, watching some Netflix. Oh, I have to raid right now? What are you talking about? It was like 9:30 and 13 of us went in and we killed N'Zoth, Aaron.
Wait, what?
We have AOTC.
What?
What happened was, I guess at some point, somebody threw on the guild calendar 2 separate invites, 2 small teams. They decided to break up our raid into 2 small teams, one on Monday night and one tonight. And I think those would be 2 teams to like try to face N'Zoth with smaller groups, because I guess smaller groups means it's easier to kill N'Zoth. We hadn't been on WoW in like 6 days because of Animal Crossing, so we didn't see this. Also, even if I was playing WoW, I'd never really checked the guild calendar. I don't think anyone really does.
I certainly do not.
I don't know, if you log on to WoW right now, you're probably in tonight's small group.
Correct, he is in tonight's small group. This feels weird. N'Zoth died in literally 2 pulls, but it just didn't feel satisfying because we didn't have a full raid group. Normally at the end of our tier, everyone's cheering and screaming because we literally busted our asses for like, fucking 9 weeks. Just wiping and wiping and wiping, and then we kind of just walked in small group, and I guess we did it. Like, I guess I got AOTC.
It felt kind of dirty too, because it felt like we were sneaking around the rest of the guild, even though like I didn't plan this. I didn't even know that I was expected to. And like also, I felt kind of weird that no one ever talked to me about this, but I guess I was included in this group without being told. It just, the whole thing felt weird. I didn't like it. It felt very not like our guild.
I would say it wasn't sneaking around because apparently it was talked about a lot in guild chat. We only missed it because we were playing Animal Crossing. I went through the guild logs and just read the chat, and it was talked about a lot. So, but it still was weird that we would even break us up in half in the first place to do it. And some people who killed N'Zoth yesterday are going to help the team today. That way we get everybody AOTC. But some people, like one of our druid healers, Kat, she has today off because we only need 3 healers. So she's like, wait, I don't have to raid tomorrow? That's great. And then Leanne was like, wait, I have to raid tomorrow? I already killed him yesterday. It's just bizarre. I don't know why we're doing it. I guess we want to get people get their loot faster because it is 470 loot, right? So it is higher eye level than usual.
I was very willing to have been in the first group because now I have to sit here, the only member of Do Not Relent who is not ahead of the curve. And I'm like, I'm going to go sicko mode tonight. Like, I'm going to try extra hard. It's like, guys, if we don't do this tonight, I have to wait a whole week. And then the next episode, I'll still not have it.
Oh, man. Oh, that's right. Well, we can get you enchanted. You're going to want to change one of your talents. I was thinking about this while we were killing the boss. Because you have on Firestarter, right? Mm-hmm. So N'Zoth's only above 90% for like a second. And we chew through that like immediately, right? Like we eat through that right away. If you pick the other one where it's like less than 30% of his health, you're going to be blasting that boy at the end of the fight. You're going to be scorching and fireballing and critting him.
Was the fight like just super easy? You said you did it in 2 pulls and it was apparently so underwhelming that I didn't even know about it.
Basically, we went in the first pull, and I'm like, well, this is going to be hard. Like, we're not going to kill this guy. And we got him to face, like, his final phase on the first pull. It's brain dead easy with a small group.
Huh.
The tentacles die really fast. Tychus?
Yeah, the big man who
Tychus,
we have to put in puddles.
He melts downstairs. Upstairs, when you're fighting the tentacles, we were killing the thing so fast that we spent our time just twiddling our thumbs and waiting for the group downstairs to come up. I'm assuming some of that was that we had all of the big DPS. We had like Leon, we had Brio, we had Honors, all 3 paladins doing crazy damage. But again, those 3 are going to be here tonight, so it's going to be the same, I assume. It's just going to be just as good.
That's going to be wild to kill him at, like, for me, like 10, 15 p.m. I guess just, like, log off and go fishing in Animal Crossing.
That's what we did last night, really. It was weird, though, because I've never really felt that the scaling of a boss's health made that much of a difference, but I think that's part of what it was as well.
Once I saw it, it made sense that, like, this is the reason we're splitting in half, because we had literally double the people in that raid than we did last night, and things take so long to die. So maybe it's good. It just makes me wonder, what are we gonna do now? Are we going to keep doing full clear of Nyalotha and just not killing N'Zoth? And then we're gonna keep splitting up into 2 groups? Like
maybe they'll like eeny meeny miny mo, or like they'll put out like the King Mechagon thing, and it's like, okay, first 10 people he picks, that's group 1.
I would love it if that was the way that they fucking solved it.
First 13 people he insults, get in there. The next, everyone else.
You are not worthy.
Everyone else, I don't know. Come back tomorrow. Pick a different toy, I guess.
Maybe this means we're going to be running more alt runs, which sounds not the worst. I could get some alts in there, hopefully. But yeah. So I guess you're right, Aaron. I didn't think about the possibility of not killing him today. Like, what does that mean?
It would be so Okay, no tea, no shade, no lemonade. Do they have the listing of who's on my team?
Yeah, so I logged on and I checked the guild calendar, and it is up there, very definedly split on who's on who. So I didn't really notice that many DPS swaps. Literally, like this week, today it's you and 404 and 1 other DPS. And then we just traded out Cass and 2 other people. And then all the healers basically changed except for Immune.
Yeah, I'm the one that's on both, which is, I guess I'm flattered, but like Kat, the druid healer that we talked about, has been like pulling better numbers than me.
They're making us a unit. That's what's happening. I don't think they're going to ask you to be at raid if I'm not going to be there. You know, that's why no one tagged you on Discord. They all tagged me and not him.
I mean, also, I would get a notification on my phone if somebody tagged me on Discord.
If you ever want to contact me, always contact Immune, because his phone will be on and mine will be like thrown away somewhere in a corner. You never go through me to get both of us. You go through him to get both of us. But so I forgot to mention, at the end of all of this, one of the officers who organized it, he felt so bad because this whole thing being organized created so many issues in that like 4-day period that like we were gone. We had raiders who felt like they weren't wanted because they weren't in a certain group.
Yeah, me.
On Monday. Yeah, well, you, and then I guess apparently there were like guildies that were like almost crying because I felt like they were being like rejected by the guild and that they weren't.
I'm almost crying. I'm fighting tears right now.
It was so crazy because like nobody met any ill intent by any of their actions, but there were so many actions that were made that weren't communicated. Then even when we logged in, me and Immune on Monday, I was never asked formally to raid today. And then Lynn said, God damn it, like you weren't asked. I can't believe this. And I think the other officer saw that and just took it to heart and basically just stepped down from officer because he said that he didn't want to have to worry about this kind of responsibility. I get it. You want to just log in and just play the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's fair. But then we appointed a new officer. So we have Brio's now an officer, which is interesting. Basically, all of the DPS are just moving on up. So maybe now there's room for one of you two to be promoted to officer.
Clearly, Immune is a package deal with you. We can get him in on a seat.
I mean,
I think we're formally nominating Immune here. Do you accept?
yeah, get me in there.
You've also said that your phone does in fact do Discord, which is a major tool on your rise to stardom.
And if you can contact me, that'd be great because I don't want to be tagged in some of the stuff I'm being tagged in. Who is your guys' favorite villager in Animal Crossing?
My favorite villager...
Like ever or currently?
How about current? Let's do current villager in this current day, 2020, the year of our Lord, Animal Crossing New Horizons. A villager who you have right now in your island.
Well, on
Okay.
our island, admittedly, he was a matter of contention when he was brought on, but I am really liking Pudge. He's just a little orange bear with like a face like he smelt a bad duty. And canonically, we made his voice like this. And
Hey, it's me, Pudge.
hey, it's Pudge. Today he came up to me. He said, "A bug that lives in my house told me about a recipe. You should have it." And I'm like,
What?
Yeah.
A bug?
a bug crawled into his ear and told him about a recipe. And this man
Well,
is
what was it a recipe of?
a shell fountain. But
Is this man okay?
No, I'm worried about Pudge. He said that he can't cross the river on a stick because he's too heavy. But he lives in an area that for the longest time, there was no way to access. So he's like, I guess I'm just stuck.
Wait, is that how that works? Can they not move if there's no bridge across their land?
I don't, it was only for like a day that he was sequestered there. But it was like, he was like, I guess I'll starve.
I'm so worried. My favorite villager, Sky, I put her house on this tiny little piece of land. She's surrounded by ocean and like a river, so she can't cross to get to the town.
It sounds like she's dead. Sounded like she tried to jump across, but she didn't have the stick, and she's like, blah, 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 blah.
Well, okay. So just today, my new favorite villager moved in. His name is Rex, and he's a lion. And I feel like he's just me if I were a villager. And also because like Rex is like one of my nicknames for a little bit. And also I don't think I've had like a lion villager before, and he's just so cool.
And there's not a lot of them, right? There's only like 2 lines I can think of in the game. It's him and like some loser with glasses. Ugh.
Yeah, no nerds on my island.
Oh,
Yeah, no glasses wearing freaks on my island.
Although I literally think my character is currently wearing glasses.
can we talk about the fact that fucking Cousteau, I gave him glasses and he's like, these are so manly. And he went into his house and he came back out of his house and he didn't have my glasses on anymore. I was like, you fake motherfucker, I saw you.
He took him off the minute you were out of fucking sight.
Also,
There is-
fucking Cubby Bub gave them like a fish, and it's like, oh, here's a cool outfit. I gave Mira a bug, and she's like, wow, a bug, and left.
They're so spicy in this game.
Now let's hear from my favorite wolf villager, Growliina.
What up, party people? It's your girl Growliina back on the streets, talking to Purple. Perb, would you say this whole quarantine business has increased the amount of time you play WoW?
Oh, for sure. I'm playing like 7 hours a day again, like I'm in college. LOL.
Have you taken up any new activities because of all this extra playing?
Well, I'm having to head back to Classic to get my content filled.
Oh God, Perb. I didn't know it had gotten that bad. We need to do something immediately.
LOL.
I can't have you out here headed back to Classic just to avoid boredom. Come on, we need to go run a key together or do some PvP.
Okay, sounds good, LOL. Guess I've got nothing better to do.
Pardon me, gang. I have to go save this man's life. Until next time, this has been Growliina.
Excellent reporting as always. I look forward to your next report.
When is Growliina going to be a villager in Animal Crossing? Like, what is she waiting for?
She's afraid of water. She's waiting for Animal Crossing landlocked plateau. You can do no terraforming. The ground must be flat.
It's Pokemon Ruby.
Except that one had a lot of water.
No, that was Sapphire.
Everyone knows Pokemon Ruby. They got rid of all of the water. You had to walk around the arid deserts, and all the swimmers were like, I'm lost!
Help!
Well, speaking of help, I'll help myself to a little segment we haven't done in a while, and that's the Heroes Call Board.
Heroes Call Board.
Today's Heroes Call Board comes to us from Nordriana, a level 110 Blood Elf Mage.
Nordriana!
110 bottle.
We need more skimpy clothing in World of Warcraft.
Come on.
They begin with an edit, closing in 400 likes in less than 24 hours. Wow, who would have thought people would wanted skimpier clo? Oh, wait.
Huh?
And admittedly, this one's very long, but they said if you zoom in to the old models from Warcraft 3, you'll see that the Night Elves they're just wearing like battle underwear, and Jaina's showing a little leg, and now what is she, a grandma? And then they link to an old video that they themselves made. Warcraft 3 Reforged Night Elf model units. Ooh la la.
Ooh. Also, it would be a fucking blood elf asking for skimpier clothing. Of all the fucking races to be asking for it, of course.
It just basically, like I said, it's a very long thing, but they're quoting, it's been in there since Warcraft 1. We need to stop adhering to SJW Anita Sarkeesian politics.
Oh my god.
Which that's the first time I've heard her name in like forever.
Like, they actually wrote that out?
Yeah. We need to stop bending our will to them. And then I watch the video and it's like, yeah, that's what we like to see. Look at those animations. And it's like a night elf like bending over to like pull up her boot. And it's like, oh.
Ugh. You know, we have a whole segment every week where we objectify these characters, but I feel like we don't do it in that way.
Yeah, we're not trying to fuck them, right? Right?
Right? As I take down my picture of Magtheridon on my wall.
As I stare at our future one for today, getting all horned up, thinking about him.
But this person does not have a point. They do not have a point. They're wrong. But I will say, it's certainly interesting when we saw what they were wondering, because if you'll remember that one part of the war campaign, the Night Elves wore, air quotes, skimpier armor, and we were all like, whoa, do you think there's a place for more of that in the game?
So was that an actual quote in this post, or was that just you saying that?
That is me saying that. This person is going about it entirely wrong, but is there any inkling of thought behind, like, we need to show more skin in our armor?
I like how you couldn't say it without being so, like, grossed out by it.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like things like that, where it was kind of like a historic callback, than as opposed to doing something just to be sexy. I don't know.
Yeah, like, I'm cool with it if we do get that sexy night elf, like, tribal armor, because, like, they've always been, like, savagely dressed, savagely attitude elves, right? Like, give me a loincloth to slap on my demon hunter. That'd be fucking sick. I want to see my thighs glide through the air. But like for humans and like orcs and tauren, like I feel like their clothes are skimpy. Well, orcs and tauren are skimpy just because like, you know, they're literal gross monsters and they can't wear regular pants. We don't need to have like more like thongs and like assless chaps in the game without reason.
Unless.
Do tell.
Nah, that was a joke.
Oh, I thought you were actually gonna give us a hot, like, I think gnomes should wear assless chaps, appleless chaps.
I don't have any apples in here. Just a few oranges and a pear.
Also, you can just fucking make your clothes invisible. Stop being horny on main, guy.
yeah. I just realized this is posted like this week, right?
Yeah,
Like, if you saw
this
it-
was posted within like a week and a half. Like, it's been sitting on it a little bit, but it's still within 8.3.
Yeah, so this guy could literally make any character very skimpily dressed if he wants. And not to mention that there already is a lot of Mog that is kind of skimpy that you can T-Mog into.
But I want to have a new textured gold-plated thong. Just give me that.
These are the echoes of a man who saw the Night Elf dance back in 2005 and became a man in that moment. He's just trying to recapture that magic.
That is so unfortunate.
Well, I'll leave it at that, but I will say, at the very end of it, he does say, reminder to everyone that this is part 1 of the thread. Once it reaches 400 likes and plenty of replies, I'll be making a part 2, then a part 3,
What?
then 4, and so on until the changes are made.
Well, how many likes are we at now?
I think it was like 300, but I can tell you the replies weren't very nice to this man.
I also, like, what else does he have to say in part 2 or 4 even?
He's gonna pull out a thesaurus and just copy and paste his old like text with synonyms. That's all he's gonna do.
He's like, oh no, I didn't. They called my bluff. I didn't have any information for 2.
When are we gonna have more naked body showing articles that you wear on your skin?
I mean, if you look at computer role-playing army simulator Warcraft the Third, you'll see that the purple elves have less covering.
I would love to see that. Please let that be how he posts it.
Be right back, guys. Gotta give this boy a like.
We gotta power a DN army, go out there and like this stinky man's post.
It's just so that we can see what the future holds for us in part 2.
I've been staring at my Raider.io page because I ran 2 mythics last night at like 3 in the morning. And apparently in Raider.io, you can change your description. And I changed mine a while ago to say, be nice to me, or I'll talk bad about you on my podcast. And I'm pretty sure when you hover over somebody, like somebody can see this message, like when I join a group, and let it be known, no one's been mean to me since I made this, my Raider.io description.
It has in fact worked.
I think this podcast wields more power than we actually think, guys.
Well, I mean, I don't know how much power I think this podcast holds, so that might be a low bar.
Wow.
Hey, you guys, I just found the right spot for my time warp.
Did you forget you had traveled through time?
It was all a strategy and not me forgetting at all.
Whoa!
I'm still falling through time.
I'm falling.
I'm falling down deep. Okay, so for today's time warp, I put a little chutzpah into this one.
Ooh.
The heroes and villains of Azeroth have been here for a while, and some of them have sired children. So when I say go, I want you to give me all of the children of the faction leaders, new and old, that you can think of.
Fuck.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, go.
Anduin.
Bane Bloodhoof. Garrosh Hellscream. What is the name of Illyria and Terralian's son? Illyria chokes him for 18 minutes.
Oh, yeah, and all the visions.
And it wastes all my time. Ooh. Is it count if I say Medivh's son? What's his name? Madont. What's his name? I think it counts. Who else has kids? Velen? Immune's Velen's son.
Yeah, I am.
Daughter? I don't remember. Okay, let's think. Variant should Anduin already. Jaina
Time.
is a virgin. Oh, okay, fuck.
I.
Thrall's got a little baby
Yeah.
boy. God damn it.
You know what? So there's quite a few, and I will say that Slide takes it with 2 to Immune's 1. But
Wait, but what is... Oh, I want some more names. Give me some more names.
so the ones that I had were Anduin Wrynn. I'm very sad that both of you missed Rakish.
No!
Your brother!
Oh.
Princess Talanji. Thrall's named kid is Doric. We had...
Wait, it's Dork? You say it was Dork?
I mean, we've also talked about this before, I think.
His his named kid Dork, Durak. I had Talia Fordragon, Moira Thracian,
God.
and then her child,
Oh.
Dagron Thracian II.
We suck. This was you gave us this one, Aaron. This was an easy one for us. This was our fault this time.
I was like, some of them even share the same name, like Tess Greymane. And then the final one I can think of. So this one was a deep pull. I was going to be impressed if someone had got this one. In Shadows of the Horde, Vol'jin name drops his son Yenneku.
Ew.
Man.
And that's all the ones. But it was a surprising 2 to 1. I was sitting here looking at Cubby Bub. She's like, how are they doing? I'm like, they're not getting any.
Man.
How do we miss Moira? That's our bitch. God damn it.
How did I miss my brother? How do we miss Talanji? Like, God, okay. I deserve all of this drink.
Even when Aaron said it, I was like, Talanji, who's her? Oh my god, Rastakhan.
You have her father's blood on your cleats.
I had his tongue in my ass, and I still couldn't remember. Well, yeah, I'm gonna chug this for fucking that one up.
Now that we have completely botched that time warp, I feel like we have time to bring in our new segment again. Another DN Our Thoughts.
Papa, tell us a story. Yes, Papa, a story.
How about you come and pull up a chair? These are DN Our Thoughts.
Well, this is the segment episode, huh? I love it, because it gives us time to talk about whatever we want.
Yeah, when there's not a lot of news, there's a lot of goofs.
So I'll start us off this week. I have a DNR thought, and I'm going to ask you guys, what is a feature that is not currently in World of Warcraft that you think needs to be added? Anything that like maybe another MMO, another game in general, or just something that you just thought of. What is something that you would like to see?
I really hate that my mind immediately goes to player housing, and it's not just because it's a thing that's wanted, but it's because I've been playing Animal Crossing with real life housing that I can afford. So I'm not going to do that one, but let it be known that was at the tip of my tongue.
Duly noted.
So what is your actual response then, Slide?
Does it count if the feature that we have in the game is so poorly implemented that revamping it would basically be adding in a whole new feature?
Yeah, sure, why not? Go for it.
Can we fucking fix or bring in new guild features? I feel like the way that like the guild chat has been restructured is so fucking bad that doing any sort of revamp to the system is basically a whole new feature. They already made it tough to for permissions, and like it's so stupid how limited it is, like how you can only see so many things. it feels like it's really constricting and it could be blown out to better proportions. Even the simple thing for like guild recruitment where I post in a guild info and I'm like, hey, join our guild. The system is so shitty. People apply. You don't see that they applied until you like open up the guild panel. And then when you press the invite button, you don't get to see a message. You can't talk to them. So any fucking person and their mother is applying to the guild. And I'm like, I don't know who you are. Like, I don't know anything about you. I can't talk to them beforehand. And by the time I do talk to them, they're already in another guild. It's just bad. And I want it to be changed and revamped. Thank you.
I agree. As far as myself, I have two kind of, but I'll do my serious one first. My big thing is I understand that different classes have different clothing groups as far as cloth, leather, mail, plate, and I agree that you should not be able to slap on an actual piece of that kind that doesn't correspond with your class. Like my big beefy chest piece, I should not be able to put on my small mage. However, with the magic of T-mogging, you should be able to T-mog into that. So if you want to be a super cool, like dual weapon dress wearing guy, you should be able to. And on the flip flop, if you want to be decked out in big, heavy-looking armor, but then using, like, holy light to heal people, I think that's
Then you're
cool.
a paladin.
Well, I'll say, yeah, then you're a paladin. But you could be anything. And I think it's weird that they don't allow you to mog into it when it's literally just aesthetics.
Yeah, and I feel like I kind of agree with you because they've already crossed the bridge in saying that, like, you can T-mog basically anything you have, so, like, that matches that kind of armor class. So it like, wouldn't be that much more drastic to make it so that you could also collect appearances of, like, all of the different kinds of armor that you could T-mog to.
Yeah, and you have holiday events too where like this is my sweater and everyone can wear that sweater.
And even compounding on that, we have sets like the Shadowlands pre-order set, which is like a weird plate cloth combination that anyone can wear, and it looks awesome on like my priest looks so cool in this huge metal plate. We have heritage armor, which, like, if you're a Dark Iron Dwarf, you're a monk fucking wearing heavy-ass plate spinning around. And with the newest recruiter friend, the sweet-ass, like, Explorer set, which is probably, I would call it cloth or leather, looks so cool on my Human Death Knight. So we're already crossing that bridge very slowly. Just fucking take it to another level and make everything everybody. That would be sick.
And I would hate to think if their reasoning for not is being like, well, what about those people who never collected the old things? Like, I don't know, they can go back and get it. They can play more of the game.
Yeah, that's what we do
bitch.
anyways. We go on T-mog runs, so...
Yeah, we have our tier 1 paladin set for Molten Core that we run every week, right, guys?
Every week, without fail.
It's getting a little hot in here, guys. I think I need to move on to my joke one. Also, I'm just going to say it. I think we need the grand exchange from RuneScape out there. I'm tired of trading in private windows. I'm saying throw your bones, throw your meat, throw your big armor on the ground, and just whoever runs over to it picks it up. It'd be chaos, but it's that kind of chaos that I love. That's some old RuneScape shit.
I am going to chain the fuck off this and say, if we're going with RuneScape shit, give us the fucking wildy.
Make a distinct area where we can fuck each other up.
Yeah, boy.
But more seriously, I guess, also to kind of to chain off of Aaron's T-Mog thing, I think it would be cool if the professions that, you know, make the different kinds of armor had a little control in how what they're creating looks. So like maybe some like kind of custom designs that they personally can, kind of like, you know, because, you know, inspired by Animal Crossing, that'd be cool if like you could do something like that as a pattern for some of the aspects of your like cloth set or your leather set that you create. And I understand that, like, you know, Blizzard's probably worried that people would take advantage of it and just like draw dicks, but you can kind of, I don't know, I feel like that'd be fine. You could just report them and it'd be done.
It'd be sick because you could add cool designs. You could customize all your... Now, what if you combined your idea with Aaron's idea? Imagine being able to wear like custom plate, like, because like even being able to tweak like Nyalotha armor Because, like, it's in this weird, like, muted, like, purple and, like, kind of like a sea green. Like, changing into, like, a white or a gold, like a paladin would be sick. And then you have the fucking mechagnomes who literally no gear looks good on them because of, like, the color palette with their, like, robot arms and legs. And if you could change them to match, like, there are, like, maybe, like, 3 or 4 pieces of armor or sets of armor that look really good on them. And, like, the rest are just dog shit. And you can customize it and you can match them up. So I think that's a fantastic idea.
And you know what else is a fantastic idea? Moving on into our sexiest NPC of the week. Ooh, when it comes to the bedroom, no one can outlast this outcast. I'm talking about
hell
good
yeah.
old stinky old Akama.
Oh, Tentacle Face himself, the broken one. And let me tell you, we've broken a couple of beds together already.
Oh no, I was sitting here in the wings like, I'm going to make a joke about him breaking me. I love Akama. He's got all that junk in the trunk. But I don't mean his booty, I mean that hump back, baby.
Oh, God. His great-grandma humpback, fucking look like a camel back there, provides you with all the grip that you need when you're with Akama, baby.
You know, I just love that he's like equal parts like disturbing and intimidating, but like kind of sexy because like he's kind of built, but also he's kind of terrifying. Have you seen his teeth?
Boy, have I seen his teeth. He's been giving me teeth, if you catch my drift.
Oh, not only his teeth, can we talk about this man's fungus-ass weird toenails? I have thought about this man's toenails far too many times on my Black Temple runs. They are disgusting and they're split so weird. He has like 4 toenails, but he only's got 2 toes per foot. How does that work?
His toenails are broken.
All of him is broken. He's such a broken man, champion.
But you know what? Something about that brokenness just gives him that like bad boy like appeal. You know what I mean? Just like he's like so unwanted that he's wanted, baby.
All I know is he's a bad boy who's only in it for himself. He'll sit there and y'all will get together till he's done. But he doesn't care if you're done. And you know what? Sometimes I need that kind of energy in the bedroom.
Hell yeah.
I like my sexual experiences unsatisfying.
And if there's anything I like, it's when I load into like Outland and I get to see him carrying that nasty ass axe or scythe as he stares at me. Like he is what I think of when I think of BC loading screens. He's like front and center, right there, holding it down for us.
What is his weapon? Is it like a mace type thing?
It's weird. In the loading screen, it seems like it's a 2-handed like axe or scythe, but in game he's dual wielding 1-handed axes or scythes. Again, I'm not sure which it is.
He is the first most purveyor of weird axe things. He's like, I got him in every style you want. 2-hand. 1 hand, no hand. I got you, baby.
Ooh, no hands.
His ding-dong actually just looks like one of those. Ooh. It's actually horrifying.
Oh, I hate that because like the back has spikes on them, so like it's not good no matter which way you put it in.
He's like, I am triple wielding these weird axe, baby.
Well, with that, Akama, you are a sexiest and most sexually confusing NPC of the week. Aaron, you can bring him his award when you and Cubby Bub go do some Black Temple runs, I'm assuming?
I'll just smack him in the face and he'll instantly drop to 1%. And while he's monologuing for the next 5 minutes, I'll just kind of slip it underneath his feet.
Hell yeah. And now with that, we can move into our top 2, bottom boot, medium boot of the week. I'm going to start off with the top 2 of the week.
Toot.
And I've got a new trinket that I like to call Daddy's Goop Trinket.
What is that?
It's a PvP trinket that is very good. Well, okay, I say very good. It's not very good, but I like it. So it is not very good. It's a PvP trinket that sprays some like cum on the ground, and if your enemy stands in Daddy's goop, it adds to their corruption level. So say that you're like a warrior with 40 corruption. When you stand in my goop, it increases your corruption by like, I think 25 or 30, I'm pretty sure. And each second that you're in it, your corruption goes up by 5. So if you're a smartass in Arena and you have like 70 corruption, I'm about to wreck your shit because I'm going to bump it up to like 1,000,000 and I'm going to one-shot you. It also slows you. So if I'm doing arenas with immune, I can spray my goop under immune, and it's a pretty large radius. And so if he's being hit by melee, it goops him. And it causes all the effects of corruption to happen to them randomly, obviously. So, like, maybe the ghost man will charge into them. Or maybe, like, the tentacle thing will grab them and slow them down. It's a very interesting trinket that I feel like is, like, one of the most unique that I've seen in a while. I mean, obviously, corruption is a new mechanic, so that's also super unique. I just don't think it's very good in, like, many applications. And you can probably use better damage-dealing trinkets. But I appreciate that it exists and gives me the option to use it.
So, you said it goops them. Does it gag them?
Ew, it gags them. Well, actually, I think it goops them and I gag them, because whenever I goop them, then I choke them to the way they stay within the corruption because they're stunned. So it goops, I gag.
Are we still talking about a comma over there? Talking about gooping while we're getting gagged.
Ugh.
What about you, Immune? What's your top 2 bottom boot? Medium mute.
Okay, I think I have to give this a medium moot because it's part top 2, part bottom boot. I'll start with the bottom boot. The bottom boot is the fact that this whole guild thing happened, and it's still left like a weird feeling and tension. I don't like the split raid teams in general. I just don't like it. I like that we would take a longer than we probably should, but we would all do it together, and we would eventually get it, and then it would be very satisfying for all of us when we down the end boss at the same time together. So that's the bottom boot portion. But then I guess the top 2 is that I did get AOTC, so I guess that's kind of cool. But
I'm gonna bottom boo you over here.
But it's really more so the bottom boot though, because I didn't like how all of it transpired.
I feel that.
Aaron, what is your TTBBMM?
Well, this week I got myself a top toot, and it comes in the form of finally full clearing a Visions of N'Zoth Horrific Vision, which is the one where you go inside.
Visions of N'Zoth. You enter N'Zaddy.
Ooh, I full cleared all 5 parts for the first time, and I felt uber powerful, and then I went and did it the next day, and then the day after that was Friday, and I found myself on Cinnabar Island. Please come visit us. We have a big monster.
You visit me.
Maybe I will.
My gates have been open continuously, and you haven't come over yet, so...
Well, maybe I will. But that full clear felt pretty good, and then they gave me a mask, and I have not gone back to see what that does.
So, was this Stormwind or Orgrimmar?
This was Stormwind. I do not know what Orgrimmar holds for me, but all I know is that Matthias Shaw can suck a butt. I hate his thing.
He's the worst! He's the worst one!
I feel like he must be easier for melee, right? Because like it's easier to make sure that most of the eyes aren't looking at you.
It is pretty easy for me now, but I remember before starting off alone, like, it was fucking hard. And it's not easy because, like, I have you, and so the eyes will hit you sometimes. Like, they'll stare at you and not stare at me, so it's nice. And with that, we're done. We're out of here. If you guys have any comments, questions, complaints, you can email us at donotrelentlpod@gmail.com. Send us your DNR thoughts, and we'll read them off. And you can follow us on Twitter at donotrelentlpod. What about you guys? Where can I find you on the internet?
You can find me, Alex, or Immunization on Twitter at NewEraAlex, or you can follow our podcast Instagram account on the gram at Do Not Relent.
You can find me, Aaron the Human, at The Big Cheesy on Twitter, and you can follow our literary musings at livejournal.donotrelent.com.
We'll see you guys next week. Wish Aaron luck in raid tonight. We'll see if he has AOTC next week. And remember,
another down! Do not relent!
Do Not Relent is a podcast within the 3HNC network, representing U.S. Proudmoore's premier podcasts.
was a very good wish.